Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. All right, we're going to go through the coaches poll. The Vols are finally getting some respect, and I could not be more surprised.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't be more shocked. We're going to go through the coaches poll. We're going to talk all things Vols. We did have a former Vol. Actually, I want to bring this up to you. This is from Chris Cartman on his Twitter account, or X, or whatever they call it now. Transfer Juwan Mitchell was dismissed from the team of Arizona State. Just 1 week of camp due to Dillingham's focus on fostering the type of culture he wants, despite Mitchell previously starting at Tennessee and Texas. Now, I can tell you, I heard a few things, some rumblings when he left that it wasn't, that not a whole lot of people were that upset about it. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Juwan Mitchell, but he has been dismissed from the team at ASU. So I don't know. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. That's a shame. I'd hoped he was going to get things squared away there and have a good finish off his career there with ASU. But let's get into the USA Today top 25 rankings. And this is the preseason coaches poll. And, of course, they've got Georgia number 1. There's no shock there. Of course, they were 15-0. They've lost like one ball game the last 2 seasons. They're 29-1. So there's no surprise there at all. Only issue they've got to do is bring in this new offensive coordinator and get their quarterback squared away, because they're not going to have Stetson Bennett there, Mr. Second half phenom. But they should be in pretty good shape there. And it looks like Carson Beck's probably going to be their starting quarterback, who was a big-time recruit. So we'll see how this plays out. But Georgia number 1 is no shock. Michigan number 2. Of course, they lost to TCU last year, which that just surprised everybody. They do have their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, returning. So some of this has to do with being in the Big Ten as well. Alabama, number 3. That doesn't surprise me at all. They got to replace Bryce Young. They got to replace an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. I mean, he cleaned house. When you lose 2 ball games, Nick Saban just wipes the slate clean and just starts all over. They're going to be very angry this year, and they're one of my most dangerous teams. I had them as the second most dangerous team behind Georgia. So this does not surprise me at all that the coaches got them at number 3. Ohio State, number 4, tons of talent. They've got to replace their quarterback, C.J. Stroud. It looks like probably going to be Kyle McCord, who was a 5-star. They have Marvin Harrison Jr., who's fantastic. I mean, that guy, if he hadn't gotten hurt against Georgia, they win that game. LSU, I'm fine with them being number 5. The second year of Brian Kelly, looked like he really had them going in the right direction. They've got their quarterback situation in good shape with Jaden Daniels. I'm okay with that. Southern California, I'm okay with them at number 6 for the simple reason they've got the best quarterback in the country with Caleb Williams. So that makes a lot of sense, and they're not in a tough – and their schedule's not that difficult. Number 7, Penn State. A lot of people are high on Penn State. They've got to win something that really matters before I'm going to start believing them, so I don't know about that ranking. Florida State, 10-3. Been doing some real good recruiting recently. I saw a video by Matt B. Great. It was kind of like they were kind of questioning how they were getting all those players. But they've got them at number 8. A lot of that has to do with playing in the ACC, so that's probably got the Gators, Florida Gators, distraught, seeing them at number 8. Then we got Clemson at number 9. Now, how in the world they're putting them in front of us is, well, it's just real simple. It's their easy division they play in, ACC. They were undefeated in their conference last year. Their 3 out-of-conference games they lost, and that was Notre Dame, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And whoops, 2 of those from the SEC. So that's why they're number 9. They're a good ball club. I'm not sitting here ripping on them, but they're only number 9 because they're in the ACC. Florida State, the same thing. If they were both in the SEC, they'd probably be about 18th or 20th.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
That's that's the reality. Playing an easy league, everybody knows it. They're going to bump you up because you're going to get a bunch of guaranteed wins.
He ain't lying.
Tennessee at number 10, we're finally getting some respect. And it's about time. I'm glad. Granted, we don't have Hendon Hooker this year, but Joe Milton looks like he's going to probably take over the reins and do pretty well. Our defense is definitely going to be improved, in my opinion, based on everything that I've seen. Got a lot of transfers that came in between Dante Thornton, Keenan Peely, and then also Gabe Judy-Lawley, who are both starters for BYU, and that should help the defense. Washington, number 11. Hear a lot of positive things about Washington. You know, their schedule shouldn't be that difficult, so I guess I'm okay with that one. Texas, I don't know if Texas is back or not, but they've sure got a bunch of good players. They're in good shape at quarterback with Quinn and Arch, so we'll see if they're back. I don't know. You never can trust Texas. They've got plenty of talent, though. Notre Dame, I'm okay with Notre Dame at 13th. They really started coming on at the end of the year last year. They had that terrible start, and then they kind of got things put back together, and they got Sam Hartman from Wake Forest, which is huge. That guy's very good. I think they're on the right path. Utah, the Utes, that's going to be about Cam Rising. Is he going to be healthy enough to start out with them? He got that bad knee injury, so we'll see how he plays out. They need to win that first game against Florida, and it's at Utah. And that's a very tough opening game for Florida. We'll probably find out quite a bit about Graham Mertz in that first game. Number 15 is Oregon. And what do they got? Like Bo Nix is their quarterback, and I think he came back, so that may have something to do with him being number 15. Their schedule won't be that difficult. TCU, after what happened to them with Georgia, that has a lot to do with why they're number 16 and not higher ranked. Kansas State, which was the Big 12 champion, they got absolutely boat raced by Alabama last year in that play in the bowl game, but 17's fine. Then Oregon State, who just beat Florida down in that bowl game when they didn't have Anthony Richardson. So we'll see what happens there. But Oregon State's not a bad club. Oklahoma, they must be thinking Oklahoma's getting their stuff together with their new coach, Brent Venables. Last year they struggled a little bit, but they do have talent, even though brave Sir Lincoln Riley took the best talent they had with him when he was running away from the SEC.
Brave Sir Robin ran away. No! Bravely ran away.
I didn't.
North Carolina 9-5 last year, and they've got a great quarterback in Drake May. Their defense is atrocious, but they do play in the ACC, so number 20, that seems fine. Wisconsin, don't care. Ole Miss, the Ole Miss Rebs. We'll see how they do. They do have a good coach, Lane Kiffin. He's not very loyal. I don't expect him to be at Ole Miss very long, but since he does exist. Tulane, who had a real good year last year. Number 23, Texas Tech, 24, and Texas A&M, they were 5-7 last year, but I'm telling you, everybody thinks they're going to be good this year. I put them as a possible dark horse, dangerous team because they have so much talent. They've got a good quarterback, a former 5-star who started showing some growth as a freshman. He had 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, so they might be good this year. They've got their new offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino. If he can stay off a motorcycle, I think he'll be okay, but there's no guarantee of that. So there's your top 25. Vols coming in at number 10. I'm pleased with that. I think that's accurate and fair. We're going to have 2 nice starting games against Virginia and Nashville, which I think will be an excellent starting game for us. Then we got Austin Peay, and then we'll find out what we're made of when we go down to the Swamp and play Florida. A very important game. And then if we win that one, it's off to the races. If we lose that one, could be a rough year. We'll see how it goes. We might be 8-4. If we beat Florida, we might end up being 10-2 or 11-1. You never know. But I think that's a critical game to get this season off to a really good start and get us comfortable with Joe Milton for 2023. All right, folks, and if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. I do like going over these preseason top 25s. It's kind of fun. And if you've not subscribed, it's on your right, my left. Just hit that little button. I would appreciate it. And right over here is the most recent video. Be sure to check that one out. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.